morning. Last year, I stood here in front of some of you on this stage, and I talked about big data analytics. I talked about machine learning. I talked about LLM. And I talked about a massive bet that we made on artificial intelligence and significant investment that we were making in AI-driven solutions. Today, I have the benefit of talking to you about what we learned in the past year, talking about what we've created in the past year, and perhaps most importantly, talking about the incredible benefits that we've been able to derive from AI. And of course, the lessons learned are mind-boggling. I also have an incredible privilege of seeing this across two companies and two very different industries. And while the subject matters are truly different, both companies at the core are AI-driven software companies. So I'll start with Boston Gene. And you've heard the introduction. Boston Gene is precision medicine company. The way we operate is that we truly focus on a patient. We understand the genetics and genomics of a patient, and through very sophisticated solutions, we create a detailed digital molecular profile of a patient at both biological and immunological levels. That gives us a truly holistic understanding of a patient, which has been proven to much, much better understand the course of disease as well as link it to the right therapy. Traditionally, for now years, when we thought about cancer, we thought about DNA, but that is just a sliver of understanding that we had of this incredibly complex disease. And what Boston Gene brought to the market is much broader understanding of patients that, as you can see, significantly increases the efficacy of therapy that we can link to a particular disease. Our slogan, which has become much more than marketing, is treat the patient, not the disease. The best way to think about the power of this is to think about people, think about patients. I'll tell you about this particular case study of a gentleman who is 54, 55 maybe now. He was diagnosed with small cell lung cancer, never smoked. It's more and more common around the world, particularly in the United States, for non-smokers to get lung cancer. Small cell lung cancer happens to be the worst kind of lung cancer. It's a fast-spreading disease with very little treatments available in the market. This particular gentleman came in, was put on a standard of care medication, which is a very toxic combination of chemotherapy and immunotherapy. Unfortunately, didn't respond, went on with a traditional treatment plan that continued to deteriorate his systems and continued to, unfortunately, have the opposite effect of something that would be curative. Ultimately, he was moved off a standard of care into clinical trial, and at that point, his doctor ordered a Boston Gene test where we discovered a very rare fusion that is not typically seen in small cell lung cancer, but has a very, very deep association with a particular therapy. We recommended that therapy to the ordering physician, who put the patient on this therapy, and within 3 months, he had a remarkable recovery. So what you're seeing on your screen is a PET scan of the patient. The left picture is the PET scan prior to the treatment, and you see the black parts are cancer. The black parts are cancer that started in the lung, as you can see, and then metastasized into lymph nodes as well as liver, and was attacking kidneys. And the PET scan on your right is the post-treatment scan, where you see this patient being completely cancer-free. Just for those of you who are not used to reading PET scans, which some at this point I'm very proficient with, the scan on the right, it's mirror image. So the black dot that you see on the right is really on the left, and that's heart. That's not cancer. That's a very healthy representation of that patient. So that patient was absolutely cured and cancer-free today, still in therapy, because this is what happens to lung cancer patients. They go into maintenance, but the patient has no cancer. And this is remarkable advancement based on our ability to truly understand the molecular profile of that patient. We also now bringing in this incredible innovation into drug development and drug discovery life cycles. It takes, typically in the United States, it takes about 10 years, and it costs about $1 billion to bring a drug to market. 10 years and $1 billion. And it works in about 10% of cases. So it's a remarkably expensive proposition. What we are doing today is bringing our molecular profiling technology and enabling pharmaceutical companies to truly analyze the patients that they bring into trials to truly match the right medicine that's most effective and most efficient to the disease. And that, as you can see, shrinks the time and the amount of money that it takes to deliver this medicine to market by a factor of 3, which is remarkable. Now, the caveat here, of course, is that this medicine now goes for approval for a smaller targeted population, but it's always better to start that way and grow than fail a trial and lose 10 years and $1 billion. Most importantly, that enables us to bring this medicine to patients, this life-saving medications to patients earlier in their life cycle. I'll stop there in Boston Gene. I'll move to Netcracker, and then, of course, then I'll focus on where AI comes into all of this and what it means to all of us. So Netcracker, seemingly a different company, a company that perhaps most of you are much more familiar with. We've been in this business for 30 years. We celebrated our 30th anniversary in October, and we work with most carriers around the world, and of course are well recognized around the globe in our contribution to telecom world and our work, of course, with telecom operators from around the world. Which some of you may not know, we also we have a parent company, NEC, which is a very large Japanese conglomerate with over 100,000 employees, very active around the globe, with deep investment in innovation, over 45,000 patents, and over $1 billion in R&D spend a year. And of course, what you see there is a very famous NEC Tower in Tokyo, where the company is headquartered. What we do today at Netcracker, what we've been doing, what we've been building towards for the last 30 years is exactly what Hatem started talking to us today, this morning, and what we'll be talking about for the next 2 days. We bring mission-critical platforms, primarily OSS, BSS, to our customers, and we thus enabling digital transformation, and of course, focusing on new revenue streams, focusing on broadening partner ecosystems, focusing on operational efficiencies, and driving just better companies both on the revenue side as well as the cost side. I'll go back to, again, a case study, because to me, this is the best way to describe the value. This is a case study of a large European operator, somebody we started working with probably 3 years ago. It's a company, it's a PPT, a company that's the largest company in its country. It's been around for many, many years, which is an asset, and as we all know, also a significant liability because the infrastructure and the systems, some of those were as old as 30, 40, even 50 years old. So the company was handling all of this really, really well until the market got competitive. The second entrant in the country, the third entrant in the country, and now there's actually 5 operators in the country, as well as several discounted brand that are completely changing the operating environment, something that you all very, very, very familiar with. So the need for digital transformation became so acute that the board decided to drive into a fundamentally different view of assessing the business needs and created a full transformation program based on their vision for the company in the future. The delivery was not without challenging, of course, as we all know, but it was very successful. And what we're seeing is that within 3 years, there are, with significant focus on revenue improvement as well as operational efficiencies, we're seeing some very significant quantifiable benefits. And I'll talk about it in a second, but first allow me to bring it back to AI and how AI plays a part in all of this. In both, I think Hatem said there's 450 AI applications that are running within his environment. The question is, and it's going to go up to 1,000. The question is, should it go up to 1,000 or should it be 1 or 2? And that's a very, very big question. How it's architected, how it's structured, how we learn about our business through AIs, and how we deploy it is absolutely critical. And we're learning. I don't think there's a right answer yet, but we're learning pros and cons of each approach. Here, we actually deployed institutional AI engine, which not dissimilar to my experience with cancer, where, of course, as you can well imagine, we're running very sophisticated AI analytics and bioinformatics to really link the disease to treatment. In this parallel, we are truly traversing all of the systems and all of the data that is coming into this environment with a single AI platform that is then driving decision-making. This is still early, but what we're seeing are truly significant and highly measurable benefits on both revenue side as well as operational efficiencies. And of course, the use cases that are most common today come from the customer care, come from the call center and call reduction. But those are, while you may call it a low-hanging fruit, those are incredibly powerful, incredibly powerful. And the benefits are so fundamental that we're now taking the solution into much deeper analytics. And we're looking not only how to apply it to the operational savings, but also how to drive broader partner ecosystems through AI, how to much, much, much deeper engage with customers through AI, and how to truly facilitate that telco to techco transition using AI that we heard about a second ago. Now allow me to bring all of this together. And I think this is where incredible lessons learned come into play. What does AI really mean to us, and how do we deploy it to the benefit of shareholders? First and foremost, AI is not a substitute for digital transformation. We talked about digital transformation for many, many, many years. Many of you, many of our customers and partners around the world have undertaken it and kind of taking it on as a continuous process, digital transformation is absolutely mandatory prerequisite for a successful AI deployment. And I think a lot of people are kind of latching onto this AI and saying, well, there's this new great things that came in and it's going to enable me to transform my company. That is certainly not the case. AI solutions can benefit from digital transformation and bring it to the next level. It is certainly not a substitute. So going through a digital transformation is absolutely critical and it's mandatory. So this is one prerequisite for successful AI deployment and deriving sizable benefits from it. The second part, of course, is deep understanding of the industry. We have a remarkable benefit on the Netcracker side, having been in this business for 30 years and having seen every use case on the BSS side and OSS side in every business model and every type of operator that ever existed around the world. That is our learning platform. That is something that enables us to drive learning into the algorithms that continuously train our AI that bring that benefit. On the Boston Gene side, we had a benefit of building everything anew. So we spent 8 years, hundreds of millions of dollars to create a dataverse that is similar to what we have on the Netcracker side that we gained by being in this business and working with most operators around the world for 30 years. And just to give you a perspective on the complexity of this, those dataverses that we use to train our AI engines and algorithms are 10 and 12 petabits respectively. That is massive amount of data. Just to put it in perspective, that is roughly the entire size of computing that existed in the world in the mid-90s. So understanding the business and having deep vertical expertise to train the algorithms is absolutely critical. And it's hard. And third lesson that we learn, and third prone to the solution that we're developing, of course, is sustainability, which is critical when we're talking about real-time data analytics on that scale. Carbon footprint, something that obviously front and center of our thinking as we're developing our solutions. And we are focused on that extensively, of course, based on the demands of the world today. Particularly, we talked about COP28 today and all of the pressure that we're rightfully experiencing to bring our carbon footprint to neutral. And last but not least is security. Security is incredibly, incredibly important. And by bringing AI into these architectures, whether it's operations of our customers or genomic and molecular data of our patients, is incredibly important and incredibly complex. So when you think AI, and this is my parting thought, don't think that this is something that's a low-hanging fruit that's going to come in and enable us to transform. It's not. It's an incredibly, incredibly powerful tool that we will learn how to leverage better and better and better. And it's something that's already bringing us significant benefits as we develop more and more use cases that are becoming more complex. But it is hard. It is something that needs to be done right. It's something that needs to be done responsibly. But bringing it all together can derive incredible benefits for us as operators, as companies, and as an industry as a whole, as we continue to grow, as we continue to diversify, and we continue to become more responsible with the solutions that we bring to market. So I couldn't be more excited to be here today because I think this is an incredible point in our life cycle as an industry where this new solution will truly revolutionize us and will absolutely enable this transition from telcos to techcos that we've been talking about for many, many years. So thank you all very much, and congratulations to being here right now, because this is the right place to be. Thank you.